What's up guys, Felipe here with another haircut video. This is a really cool one. I'm super pumped. This is a lady's cut, a transformation really. As you can see here, the client came in with quite a bit of hair and she wanted to do an undercut with a low skin drop fade, and so I loved it. I mean, it's not every day that you get to cut a lady's hair. So to give myself a foundation of the fade, first I sectioned the top hair with the horseshoe shape, and on the sides I'm gonna take my number 2 guard with the lever closed, and I am literally going straight up in the air. I'm taking the guard, I'm resting it against the skin, and I'm going straight up in the air. I am not following the head shape. In doing so, you create a foundation there. It kind of looks like it's already blended. Yeah, and so what this does really is set a foundation. It gives me a guideline to follow when I'm doing my skin fade. It also helps me blend the 0 to the number 2 very easily. Because we are doing a drop fade, I'm making sure that I'm creating that drop around the occipital bone. And so here with my triple zeros, I am creating that first guideline very low. Skin fade, we're gonna keep it very low, and we're gonna drop at the back of the head. Now here, because she is a lady, she has very sensitive skin, making sure that I did not irritate her skin. So here, after my triple zero, I go over it with my Slimline Pros, as I always do. I am pretty much just making sure that everything is nice and clean, all the extra hairs are out, and I'm not going up to that exact line. I'm staying about a 1/4 inch underneath it, so we have that layers of transition. Here now, the lever opened, I'm creating my second guideline. Well, technically my third guideline, but from the skin fade, I'm creating my second guideline, and with the lever open about an inch up, I'm creating the guideline on one side and I take it off immediately. And then I go to the next side, the opposite side, and I do the same thing. I create the guideline and then I close the blade halfway and knock that line out. Here with the number 1 guard, I have the lever open and I do the same thing. I'm moving about an inch, but I am scooping out. I create another guideline and I remove it as soon as I am finished. So pretty much create guideline, remove guideline. So here I am kind of scooping out with the number 1 guard, lever open, and close the lever, and boom, I knock down the line. Once I'm done doing that, I come back with my number 1.5 guard. I'm just buffing out, pretty much smoothing out everything with the lever closed, and then I open it as well. And then I go over with my number 2 guard one more time, just to make sure that everything is nice and even and correct. So, and now I'm just detailing, I'm just making sure that the dark patches are faded out. I have my 1/16 guard, just pretty much detailing everything, trying to make sure that everything is in place. I took a pretty long time with this haircut. It was about 1 hour long, and so lucky me, I had the time to do that specific time, so it was great. Here I'm just doing a little clipper of a comb action, just smoothing out the transition on that transition here. And so that's that. The 5-star shaver just to clean it up, and then we are done with the sides. So now it's time to do a lot of work on the top. So I'm gonna wet the hair, prep it, I'm gonna comb it back and forth. I am pretty much studying the hair right now and trying to see how I'm gonna do this. Also, I'm talking to the customers too as well, trying to see if she wants to blend the top of the hair with the back and add layers, or she wants to let it hang. I'm also explaining to her that by blending everything on the back, she will not be able to put the hair in a bun completely. She agreed, and so now here there's a heavy line. I'm just smoothing that heavy line out with scissor over combs and then scissor over fingers action. Here what I'm doing is I'm not keeping my fingers straight up on a 90-degree angle. I am slightly bending it, going with the shape of the head. Once I get that initial occipital bone area blended, I start doing my guidelines. Now, I wanted to layer the hair very nice, and so I was taking about 1/2 inch layers of hair, and I will cut them at that same angle, not straight up. I would say at about a 70-degree angle, 75-degree angle. As you see there, the shorter hairs are my guides, and I just work my way forward from the back of the head. For the most part, I always blend from the back to the front using that 70-degree angle, because we want to make sure that we add layers. Because we are making the top of the hair even on both sides, I'm combing the hair first to one side, making sure that everything is even. Once I'm finished with one side, I comb the hair back to the opposite side and even all that out. You should have a guideline already set from before. Now we're gonna start adding the bangs and blending everything. The bangs you want to leave maybe like half an inch or a quarter inch longer than everything else, just because that needs to lay over everything else. And so that's what I'm doing here. Now once everything is blended, now it's time to start adding some texture. So I'm doing some point cutting here. At the same time, I am making sure, cross-checking everything, making sure that everything is even. And if for some reason something's not even, I will point cut that specific part of the hair that's uneven. And so once I'm done doing a little point cutting, what I did here is I took my thinning shears and I was working on the back of the hair. And then here's a little technique that I love doing, especially with longer hairs like that. It adds so much movement and texture to the hair. I love it. It's great. It's the greatest thing I've ever learned, honestly. So you comb it to one side, you do it, and then you comb it to the opposite side and do it again. Honestly, I need a full video on doing this type of technique. I can't really explain it in just a few seconds. And so here it is, guys. This is the haircut. Looks great. I love it. To be honest with you, I think that this has to be one of my favorite haircuts I've ever done in my short time cutting hair. So thanks for watching again. Stay up and stay watching. Peace.